Whatever you do, please, I beg you, please do not panic, because you will never profit when you panic. Now, this might be one of the most important stock market mutterings videos I have ever done. I apologize for the beginning, just trying to lighten the mood, but serious, you need to listen going forward, because we are starting to approach some very critical levels here in the market that's going to tell us whether or not we're going to see a late year rally here, or are we going to see a much more deeper, stronger round of aggressive selling. That's all going to come out real early in the beginning of the week, I think. Now, before I discuss that though, if you guys are struggling with this market and you're part of that sitting on the hands crowd where you just don't know what to do, and I can understand that, just being afraid to take action when you're seeing this wild, massive movement market back and forth in both directions. I've said this so many times in happy hours. I will continue to say it over and over again because I've experienced on two separate occasions throughout my 2 decades of trading. I swear to you, and I know it's not nice to swear, there is a way that you can trade this, and what you're witnessing here may be one of the greatest opportunities that you will ever have when it comes to trading. You have that opportunity right in front of you, and if you take a moment to learn it, you may very well make more money than you ever, I mean ever, possibly could have imagined. I mean, maybe you don't, but the opportunities are there. Opportunities that you may not know exist. Trust me, I've been through this on 2 separate occasions. What you will do, though, is if you don't do anything, and you're, like, again, part of that sitting on the hands crowd where you're not doing anything, you will, I promise you, you will regret not taking action in a market like this. So if you need help with that, visit thelincolnlist.com, click on the Trade Room tab, trade with us, and I will walk you through stuff like this and hopefully expose you to some opportunities that can help you make some money. Let's talk about these levels, because this is what I want you to pay attention to, because we're at a critical level here in just about all the markets that we really need to be paying attention going forward. We'll start out with the SPY here. And if I back up, last week, the market was just going bonsai up every single day in anticipation of this G20. And if you follow me on Twitter, I was tweeting about it. I thought this was a sell the news event. I said this was exactly what's going to happen regardless of what happens during this meeting on Saturday. It will be perceived as good and the market will rally. And that's exactly what happened. We got this humongous gap up on Sunday night, went into Monday morning, and from that moment it just started to sell off and sell off and sell off until Tuesday. Things really got out of control. Now there's a lot of different political things on top of this. There's payrolls that went on top of this. It was just kind of like this perfect little storm lining up with the Fed and this inverted yield curve stuff that just kind of put pressure on the market more. But it's the action that I want you to look at outside of the news. You know, news can always, sometimes there's good news and it turns it out to be a market sell-off event. Sometimes it should be a bad news event and it's turned out to be bullish. I mean, it's the action, it's the price actions that gives you the clue. And what you had here was a 7-day rally that took us back to the 280s. And that 280 level was such a heavy resistance zone going all the way back to October, the later part of October. And it gets right up there just right after G20. And then here you go, you just sell off. And you didn't even, practically in 2 trading sessions, Tuesday and Thursday, it was gone. And mind you, we had Wednesday off. The market was closed. Where would this market be right now if it was open on Wednesday? So you got to think you're taking another day out of that. But by the time you get done with the week, you even retraced a nice little rally that was on Thursday. And here you are parked down towards this lower 262. And if you see, that's where that whole entire rally, the G20 tariff rally, that's where that started. It's all gone. 7 days, wiped out in 2. Now, when you look at deeper part of this chart, you're going to go back here and you can see, I got a little line just sitting right here around the 250, let's just say 260s. 260 is the number you have got to tattoo on your head, not literally, just in your mind. Don't tattoo it on your head. Going forward, because that was the last pivot that takes you back to the March-April a period of March, April lows right here in this lower 257 to 260 spot. And you had a little bit of a pivot there at the beginning of May. Yes, May 3rd. So you got April, May lows, not to the penny, but you're down in that area. And you have the recent pivot from the 26th. So you're going back now into March's area. So here's the deal. Being such a critical level, you're going to see two things. Either the market is going to hold this and bounce off of that and make a rally. Now, as to how far that goes, are we going back to 280? I'm not so sure about that now, based on the way the action has been, based on the way some of the news has been translated. The market's not even making any attempt to go up on good news. I don't see that any rally right now in the near-term future being sustainable for longer than just a few days. But maybe it does. But if there is going to be something, it is going to happen down there. And that's where the odds are that it will happen, or the strongest bounce will come. If it doesn't hold that, there's no case left in my mind that you're not going to February's low down here, which is probably, I don't know what it is to the penny, just say 253. There's not a case left for you not to go down to 253. Now understand this too, guys. That doesn't mean it's all going to happen in one afternoon. You know, that's one of the tricky things about trading in the markets is you look at levels, whether you're bullish or you're bearish, you pick an upward target, you pick a downward target. Most of the time it will go to that target. That's where it trades. That's the whole point of technical analysis. It trades from one level to the next. But how it does that is the tricky part. You know, sometimes it goes straight there. Other times it's like this, you know, and it works its way around. And this may very well be like that. But coming from a bull market now into a bear market, we are in a bear market now. You know, they're going to be the buy the dip crowd that still tries to fight this. But please pay attention. That number is everything going forward. You basically just say 260. You stay above 260, there's a chance for a rally. You get underneath the 260, forget about it. There's really not, you know, there's not much left to say here. You're going a lot lower. You even have the same kind of setup here on the Dow. This is the Dow futures. You're now at a triple bottom here at 24,002. And again, that's the same thing, a little cluster right over here in late June, early July. You're going back into some of these supports, which used to be the 200 moving average back into May. So you're going back pretty far. But this time around, on this particular correction, the market's been trading under its 200 moving average for quite a few days now, which makes it even more bearish. So again, watch these levels. I mean, you're right there. I've already said it. You're there. And that's it. It's going to get tested early on Monday. Almost no question this thing's going to get tested at some point Monday, if not early Tuesday. You're going to see this, and that's going to kind of tell you what the next few steps are going to be. Now, as we look at stocks, they are in the same situation. And I'd have to say the biggest bear case I have at the moment is Apple. You know, this hero of the market, largest market, I don't know if it has the largest market cap anymore, is just decimated. These tech names, I know they're good companies overall, but you also have to understand that over the last couple of years, we've seen triple-digit gains out of stuff like Apple, Netflix, Tesla. This is part of the economic cycle, man. This thing just cannot catch a break. And even when the market was rallying prior to G20, this thing only put in like an $8 bounce over a period of 4 or 5 days. I mean, that's pretty pathetic. It's been under its 200 moving average roughly more than half of the month since November. For almost 30 days, it's been under its 200 moving average. It just can't get out of its own way. And Friday's close, if you look closely right down here, was taking out this double bottom low right here of 170. It's just bad news here, technically. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you wake up Monday and it gaps up $3. You're like, hey, that Doug is an asshole. He doesn't know how to trade. No, that's not what I'm saying. Remember, it can go this way. You're going to see bounces. In fact, some of the biggest bounces that you see in the market sometimes come in bear markets. Biggest bull rallies come in bear markets. But the same thing with the market. You've already closed at a very bad technical level for this if you're a bull. you don't have anything holding you back until you get down to this 160, which is the lows out of earnings from April. That's where this thing's probably going to end up within the next week. You know, that's all there is to it. I mean, technically, that's what it says. Again, there'll be bounces. You never know. Things can change at any time, but this one looks the same way. Also, you have Win, which has been a pretty good stock. If you remember, I actually started out October kind of getting smoked on a short with this thing. Not revenge here, just kind of doing my thing. But, you know, you've also broke shorter term support right here, which was the lows from Thursday's trading session. You got one little gap filled down here at 101, and then the same thing, you're probably going to start testing these late October lows. I mean, you basically could pull up a chart and start looking at, hey, whatever was October lows, most of this stuff is probably going to end up going back there if the market starts correcting. And then what else do I have? Netflix is another one here. It's got the same, I mean, a lot of these are going to have the same type of chart. You got Netflix here closing under Thursday's lows. Nothing left in this chart really until 253, which is back to that low, under 253. I mean, this thing's just going to get absolutely steamrolled, just absolutely steamrolled. And then maybe on the other side, one stock that has really bucked the trend has been TWLO, TWLO. In fact, on Thursday, it looked like it was going to break out on the daily chart, but then falling victim to the market. Maybe it's opportunity to short this one up here since it's really showing a lot of resistance up around the 96.5 level, and you're seeing a lot of rejection. Now, one thing I also want to say is when I'm making the bear case here, again, it's not just about price and technical analysis. That's one thing that we look at. To me, what stands out more here is price action. And what you have, regardless of what chart you're pulling up, is you have absolutely, I mean, here's Netflix for the day. You have absolutely zero love out of this chart. I mean, you got a couple attempts here early, which is a single bar on a 5-minute chart. You had one rally here, which is, look how small this is. And then you had another rally here, which is small. And each one of these resulted in lower prices. Now, one of the things that we kind of talk about at the Lincoln list when we're looking at price action is a blend of common sense and kind of look at it like a sporting event where you have an offensive side and a defensive side. So first the offense comes out and they do their business, and then the defense has to stop them, right? But then the other team's offense finally gets a chance. So when you kind of look at that in the market, what I'm saying is there will be a bullish surge of some sort every day in a stock, an attempt at a rally, and then there will follow an attempt in a sell-off. Now, based on the type of action you get out of either one of those will tell you what's happening with the chart other than just technical analysis. So in this case, you're looking at Netflix that goes from 282 down to 270. So it loses $12 of price. So here's $12 of bearish assault on top of this stock, right? And then it bounces, what is this? Like 270. So it bounces $2.50. $2.50, maybe I'll give it more, $3. You go down 12, then you bounce 3 out of the 12. Immediately followed by a wipeout bar that ends up selling down another $4 or $5. You follow what I'm saying? So that's the price action right there. It's like that was a terrible attempt at bulls, or at the bullish case, to try to make this thing go up. And it just kept doing that the entire day. So think about that sometimes when you're dip buying a stock, you're reversing a stock. If you're looking at something that's gone down $15 and it can't bounce a buck, what is that telling you? It's the same thing when you're shorting a stock that goes up $17 and it won't even fade 50 cents. I mean, what is this telling you about the action in this stock? It's like, damn, it's stubborn. So think about that. And that's what you had in a lot of these charts. You go down this list, this whole thing is just getting steamrolled here. I out-talked my lamp. Probably look good in the dark. So anyway, as we go forward, let's just look at this. You got to pay attention to this level. We may get a rally. I don't want to write off how powerful or how strong a rally, especially end of the year, holiday season, you never know what you're going to get. But you're going to find out that answer real soon and real early in the week. And that's going to set the tone for the decisions that we make as the week progresses. It's all about 260. You're so close right there. SPY 260. You lose that. Just too low 250s are coming if that happens. So there's your line. There's your line in the sand here. And again, I guess one of the best things about it is you're going to find that out very early as the week starts, which is really going to set the tempo for the remaining part of the week. So anyway, guys, I'm done. I'm done for now. I've talked long enough. I've out-talked my lamps. So if you need help, again, in all seriousness, take a moment, visit the link on this.com. Click on the Trade Room tab. Trade with us. Thanks for watching this stock market mutterings. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you like it. I will chat with everyone next week. Hope your trading week goes well. Take care. Talk to you soon.